Hi folks, so I'm Maitrisiddhi and I'm sat in the back garden of Taraloka Retreat Centre. And today, if this coronavirus scenario hadn't have been happening, Ratnavandana and I and a whole bunch of retreatants would have been a couple of days into living in the Mandala, this Brahma Viharas retreat which Ratnavandana has been developing for many, many years, and I've had the honour to be co-leading with her for the last couple of years. And it just seems quite coincidental that, the Buddhist Centre Online is inviting Ratnavandana to explore this material this very week that we would all have been here at Taraloka exploring the same material. So I probably just particularly want to say hi if anyone's out there who, you would have been here, you would have been here in this gorgeous environment. But I really wish you well wherever you are. So I wanted to share, I suppose, just a few, what connection am I making with this material at the moment? I was really loving what Ratnavandana had written on the Buddhist Centre Online about using Metta as a lodestone, Metta as something that guides us and orients us. And I suppose that is exactly how I relate to Metta. That is exactly how I relate to Metta, where it's like I can see, it's like Metta or love, that is how I want to be relating. And very often I'm not, very often I'm not. And yet it's like I can orient by it. It's, I probably relate, so a lodestone, that's like a really old-fashioned compass. And I used to be a mountaineer and I really relate to the compass. So you're in the mountains, it's not like this, it's not gorgeously sunny. The mist is down, you don't know where you're going, but you have a map and you have a compass. And the map is like the map of all the Brahma Viharas, the different flavours, the different qualities of Metta. And the compass, it's like my heart always knows which way Metta is. If my heart is feeling more open, if my mind is feeling more open and at ease and relaxed, well, I know that is the direction of Metta. And if my heart is feeling contracted and tight and, resentful or irritable or whatever, it's like, can I bring Metta to that? Can I bring kindness to that? But also it's like I know that contraction isn't the direction that I want to go. Openness is. I've got Maitri in my name, Metta in my name, and it's such a high standard to live up to. And I feel like the path of Metta, like my path, is littered with my failures to practice it. I'm quite a H type, so I can be very irritable, I can be very snappy, and yet, I don't know, there's still just a direction where it's like, in a way, if the path to enlightenment was all about wisdom and seeing things as they are, if there wasn't Metta as like, when I see things as they are, when I see with clarity, actually that means that I just love, things are unblocked so that I love and I then act with kindness and generosity. And if that wasn't there, I would not be interested in the Buddhist path. I would not be interested in enlightenment. So even though I find it, it's a sort of moment-to-moment sort of gentle effort to kind of go, I want to go this way. I just spoke sharply there. Actually, I didn't want to. Actually, I'm sad I spoke sharply there. My path just feels like this constant reorientation towards being kind, which is quite a shift for me, because when I first came along to the Dharma, I thought that kindness was weakness. I thought that just meant that, you were just being really, really nice to everybody all the time. But now I don't see it like that. Now I do see it as this path of clarity. That's one of the things that I really, really love about the retreats that Ratnavandana and I run, which is how much it's embedded in a mythic context. So we have Metta associated with Akshobhya, the archetypal Buddha of the East, of the dawn sun. And, you know, when we have like clear, fine, bright weather like this, it's like it's that clarity of Akshobhya where actually if I saw clearly, I would be seeing with love. And actually, when I don't see clearly, you can't see it, let's see. I've got my mind all tangled up in the pondweed of my mind. I'm sitting next to a very, very kind of duckweedy pond. Yeah, yuck. And that's what's happening when I'm getting kind of like irritable. I think it's quite a question for me about this, you know, how is it going to play out as we start coming out of lockdown, as the situation around coronavirus develops, where I can see that, you know, at the moment, here I am in this beautiful retreat centre. We've got no money coming in, but, you know, we're okay for the moment. But how will it be in the future? How will I be if I start getting financial pressures on me, if I get ill, if people close to me get ill? If I suppose the painful experiences of the world come a lot closer. I heard once about a Tibetan monk who'd been imprisoned by the Chinese. This was quite a long time ago, I think it was probably the 70s. And he'd managed to escape from prison in some way, and afterwards he was talking about his experiences. And I found this so moving that he said that his deepest fear had not been what the Chinese would do to him in the way of like torture or deprivation or anything like that. His deepest fear is that he would start relating to them with ill will and with hatred, and he would lose his metta practice. And I can really, partly I just really admire that as like, wow, is that my deepest fear, that actually I'll lose my ability to practice metta? Or actually, I don't know, actually maybe that is my deepest fear. And it's also my highest aspiration that, you know, whatever arises, can I keep turning towards it with metta? Or can I keep recognising my failure to turn towards it with metta and just keep reorienting myself again and again? Actually, I want to relate with love. I want to relate with kindness. I want to relate with generosity. There's this verse that I often say to Maitreya. Maitreya is my yidam, and he's the bodhisattva of loving kindness. And there's this verse to him that goes, "You are my heart and my life, pole star of my night, moon of my darkness, sun of my dawn, lodestone of my being. In you I take my refuge. To you I go for refuge. You who are the universe to me." And in a way, I suppose I feel like that as like a prayer for myself. That whatever happens, may I continue to orient towards love. May I continue to orient towards metta. And, you know, and may we all continue to orient towards metta.